Okay. It is time to do more of the inventory. So now we can equip an item. We have a slot for equipping items, but what exactly do I want to do? So I think you can equip any item, so I want to make it so that whatever item you're holding maybe stores a reference to its own actor. Maybe? Hmm. Yeah, I think that might work. So in the slot, we have actually I have a struct for what the items each store. All right, what am I doing? Inventory. No, that's the storage implementation. Okay. So these are what they store. They have a name, they have a stat count, they have an icon so you can see them. They have an item type, which doesn't really matter. They have stackable, they have a class, and they have stat count. And the class is what? I don't even know what that is. Is that class? I don't actually know what that is. But I know where I call it. I use it whenever I'm dropping an item on the floor. I'm pretty sure. Seeing a class. Okay. Spawn an actor, and the class of the actor is just whatever the hell the actor is. Yeah, that makes sense. Instead of storing the actual actor itself, it's just a class. So, like, if I had a sword in my inventory called Excalibur, and I drag Excalibur to my hand slot, here's Excalibur, and I equip his ass. I want to see it in my hand now. So, well, Excalibur is a class of blueprint, and you can tell because if I just fucking go to here and I go blueprint, and then I typed in Excalibur, and in this instance I type master item. Oh, look at that! It's a fucking class. It's its own. Yeah, it's a class of blueprint in this case. It's a class of object. So what we need to do is get that class that it's already storing. So let's see. I'm gonna just find an example item real quick. We got this child item, and it has a class. Well, what's the class? Itself. I get to pick. It's a type of item. I get to choose that. Okay. I don't remember how I've limited that, but I don't know. I don't know really where I determined that or why that's limited to not be any other class. This item's property. So it's a struct that it has, but I don't have anything in here. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's automatically it's a class of this type. So I'm choosing the subclass, the specific item. So this is an item. The class that an item has is an item. So I can't store a monster as the item unless I make monster a type of item. But I can do an apple because an apple is an item. A sword is an item. All these things are items. Armor, item. Yeah, bunch of things. So I only have 3 different items right now. There's one that stacks a bunch. There's one that doesn't stack. And then there's the last one that only stacks up to 2. So I can choose. So what that means is every item, whenever I get it, it has its own class. And I've gone in and for each item, it takes a little bit of manual effort, but you can go and then check out what this item's default properties are. Well, it's itself. That's what I do. I don't set it anywhere. I just, because then it just makes more sense to set that before the game even starts. Because if you have all that shit generated, like when the game starts, then your sword has to know that it's a sword. Your sword has to know the damage it has. That shit should just be pre-ingrained, no calculations needed. A little bit of effort on the back end, but then I can balance it and stuff. So each item has itself. So now I need to add a check so that when, actually, let me go and update this here. So healing we don't have. We want equip slot on player. So the whole point of this is that I want healing, but to heal, I want to be holding a bandage and use the bandage. To do that, I need to be able to hold an item and use it. To be able to hold an item and use it, I need to be able to hold an item. And to be able to hold an item, I need to be able to move. I need to have a place that is my hands, my holding thing, my holding inventory, so that when I put something in there, it's actually a little bit off to the side for some reason. But whenever I put something in my hands, that is the trigger to put it in my hand. So we need to have, I can put it in my hands, and when it's in my hands, do something. And that logic should be on drop. On drop. So I can put stacks of stuff in the hands right now, right? Pretty sure. I can do 1 and 2, just like I can put 2 bandages in my hand. So I'm gonna need a custom event or a function that will just be equip item. I don't really like functions too much. I like seeing all the shit. So this is old. If I want that shit, I'll get it back later. Don't need that now. It's just making my compile time worse. Let's see what we got. Works. This is dropping to occupied slot behavior. This is dropping to empty slot behavior. Okay. This guy up a little. Make this a little bigger, the font. It's longer just because I like it like that. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, I did caps lock. Dropping to empty slot behavior. Cool. Text. Actually should have done all of these at once. These are all good to go now. Like that. This is all something like that. Actually, the checks are here, so we'll just keep it in there because that's all that I know is definitely in that spot. Cool. Don't need all that. It's a lot of room. We'll move this up though, and then move this up so that I can get a better description of what's going on. Same with you. This can be cleaned up later. It's not super important right now. I want to get the inventory fleshed out, and then I'll clean it up. It's already much cleaner than it used to be. I can read what's going on here. There's an item. I'm updating it depending on what the fuck's happening, how many there should be. I'm checking which inventory is it in. Oh, update that inventory. Oh, it's in this one, update that one. Oh, it's in my held slot, it's this. So it looks like this is probably the one we're gonna do. Hey. And, you know, I'm gonna make a function. I'm gonna make a function. Really not a fan of them, but we will try. Okay, it is going to be called equip equipable item. Cool. And we need to make sure that the struct we have specifies whether an item is equipable in the first place. Okie dokie. So there's the name, how many, what it looks like, the type of item. I don't think I'm currently using that. I'm going to undo that just because I want there to be classes, armor, weapon, etc. But I'm going to add another variable, and it's going to be called equipable. It's going to be a Boolean. Now I can hopefully go in here and everything still works as expected. I can pick up items still. Get you. 1v1 a motherfucker real quick. Oh shit. Okay, so it's gonna be nice. Dagger's still dangerous. I don't have to be swinging it towards you. I can move it towards you. What the? I forgot that footsteps are still kind of buggy. If I walk left, I hear him to the right. If I walk right, I hear him to the left. If I walk forward, they're kind of behind me a little bit. So, can't do anything crazy with these. Nice. Cool. So, everything still works. I can go and look in my item slot real quick just to see what's going on. Actually, it's the event graph. Now it has, this is all the font. Oh, here we go. Equipable. So it just added. Don't need that anymore. So now we will say, I need to find the instances where the item gets added. So do I only care about blank? I care about when, so I don't have overlapping, or I don't have item swapping capability, and I don't like it, because if I have something in one hand and I have something in another hand, and I want to put something one into the other thing doesn't just appear, the thing in my left hand doesn't just appear into my right hand. I have to like put it on the ground and then place it, or something else, so that it takes time, so that if I have a backpack, I can't just magically put a bunch of shit in my backpack and then it goes onto the ground. There's actually time. So if there's a goblin or a trap swinging down about to cut me or something, and I'm timing it to get out of the way, or there's lava that's coming up out of the floor and it's starting to come, I can't just pick up stuff and toss it in my backpack to replace all the shitty stuff. I have to actually bring my backpack out, throw all the shit that I don't want out, take all the stuff that I actually need, and then I can go. It takes time, and this time creates urgency and nervousness, and that's the feeling that I want in my game, because it's my game. So, and it's the dream game, and it's what I have to do. It's my purpose. So, the only time that I want to equip an item is when the slot is blank and I have equipped it. And then anytime I drag it off, I guess I just want to kill that item. And then anytime it goes back, I want to equip it. So I actually don't even care about this logic, I think. I'm pretty sure I only want to do it here, because if I have 2 apples in one hand and I put a third one in, I should still just be holding an apple. I don't want it to be like, at some point the game's just going to be ridiculous. I'm holding 99 coins in a hand. Dude, just put a stack of coins in your hand. It's okay. I mean, it'd be cool if there's a bag of them or something else, or maybe I have to get a bag of them, or else it is hard and they're falling and they're loose on the ground. I got to figure it out. But in the meantime, when I'm just using the slot-based inventory, I only care about when the hand is blank and once it gets an item. At that point, is it equipable? If it is, equip. So, actually we'll say try to equip item. KO. So, and we need to get, so it's on drop. So we're setting the array element to be, let me refresh myself on exactly what's going on here. Drop to blank equipped item slot. Cool. And then I also want to drag, and if it's from the item slot, then I want to remove it. So I can find that that's in the on drag detected. If it happens to be coming from an empty item, something like this. Actually, anytime it's empty, I might need a separate check. So that could be interesting. I might have to do it in 3 ways. Or I could just do on drag. Not a big deal. Not right now. So we want to equip the item. We want to set the array element and then update the inventory children, so that I update my inventory. So when I drop it, boom, it updates. And at that point afterwards, here is where I want to try and equip the item. So that. And to equip the item, we want to get the item. The item is, let's see. The whole point here is after this update happens, it should be looping through all the slots and setting their item infos to be what's in the array, and then updating them. Is that what happens? We're looping through all the children. We're getting the slot. We're setting its info to be what it actually is in the index, or in the array rather. And then we're updating it. So I think that should be the case. So we should be able to say that this S slot item info gets updated because we're updating it here. So at this point, it has been updated. after updating the item slot, want to attempt equipping it. Or we'll just say, try to equip it. Okay. I gotta go to the bathroom, and after this, I'm gonna implement that.